हाँ राइट, स्टार्ट करो सर. Started now. Good morning students. Myself Shekhar Gowda. So I will continue our track topic, structure of atom. So before last week we started structure of atom. Right. First let me revise. So whatever I taught in last class, in last week from atomic structure. In last week we had discussion on discovery of subatomic particles like electron, proton and neutron. So these are the discussions we had in last week. Right. Once again let me revise. In the atom, first in atomic structure we have first model, that is Dalton's atomic model. So according to Dalton's, atoms are the smallest particles. They are uncuttable and undivisible. So according to Dalton's, there are no further smallest particles in the matter. Atoms are the only ultimate smallest particles. So this is what given by Dalton's scientist, and for this there was no any experimental evidence. He postulated theoretically, no experimental evidence. So later scientists started finding that what structure of matter in that order. Then first time Michael Faraday did many experiments on electrolysis process. So then based on that J.J. Thomson got one idea. So whenever you are doing electrolysis, then there will be a definitely attraction toward the respective electrodes. So due to this, definitely in the matter also there are some kind of definitely charged particles must be present. Then only this matter will deposit and will move towards the respective electrodes. From this he started finding subatomic particles. So in the first J.J. Thomson discovered electrons from the cathode ray experiments. So in that he passed rays from the cathode. From that, so we got what electrons. Electrons are what present in all matters. In all matters, and he passed current through a gaseous matter, means through a gas like H2O, to any kind of gas you can take in the glass tube. Okay, cathode ray tube you can take it. So then when he passed current through a gas molecules, then from that he observed some postulates, and finally he claimed that and he concluded that so in every matter there are negative charge particles. These negative charge particles are not visible, but their nature is visible when they are striking on the surface of phosphorescent or fluorescent material. So from that, so he got what idea, there are negative charge particles, those particles are having negative, that is what he concluded. So after that then Goldstein, then he thought what, whenever atom, means whenever in the matter there are negative charge particles, definitely there are positive charge particles, then only atoms or matter will be in the neutral state. Then by repeating same experiment, and he founded positive charge particles, and their name is protons. Right. Next here one thing, so E by M means charge by mass ratio of electron will be same for all type of matter, but not positive particles. So why? Because here E by M of positive particles is depends on nature of gas. So here mass will be different for positive molecules or positive whatever ions. So this is what you need to notice. E by M will be common for all matter. Any kind of matter you take it, E by M of electron will be same, but not proton. This is what you need to notice. Then after discovery of electron and proton, then by doing what particle bombardment, like what alpha particle, when it is bombarding with beta, means the beryllium sheet, he got what Chadwick got one neutral particle, its name is what, neutron. Then finally you can conclude, so in the atom there are three subatomic particles, their names are what, electron, proton, neutron. So these are the three fundamental particles will be present in most of the atoms except hydrogen. In hydrogen only electron and protons are present, except hydrogen. Remaining in all atoms all three particles are present. This is what you can conclude. Right, next this is what we had discussion in previous classes. Right, today we are going to start after discovery of electron and proton. After discovery of electron and proton, so J.J. Thomson proposed one atomic model. So after discovery of electron and proton, and J.J. Thomson proposed one model. That model name is Thomson model, Thomson atomic model. So according to Thomson atomic model, now we are going to discuss how electrons and protons will be arranged in the atoms. So how they are getting stability, okay, and how they will be arranged. He tried to explain, and he gave one model. That model name is what? Thomson model, or another name is plum pudding model, or watermelon model. So here very simple. So after discovery of electrons and protons, J.J. Thomson proposed one atomic model. That model name is what? Thomson atomic model or watermelon model. So he explained like watermelon. You know that watermelon, if you take it watermelon, so if you cut it watermelon, so you can find what? This is what half piece. In this half piece, there are what? Black seeds. Seeds will be there. These are what? Seeds. The seeds are embedded inside the reddish matter. This is what here, let us assume here you will be having reddish matter. This is what reddish matter. In this reddish matter, there are what? Seeds, black seeds. Seeds will be embedded inside the reddish matter. Right, by taking what? Watermelon, he proposed how electrons and protons will be arranged inside the atom. Now this what? Circle is what? Atom, let us assume. In this, these seeds are what? Seeds. The seeds are what? Electrons. These are what? Electrons according to J.J. Thomson. And this whatever the reddish matter is said to be what? Protons. Protons. This is what? Reddish matter. Okay, reddish matter, whatever reddish matter is there, reddish matter is said that what? Protons. Now here electrons means seeds. They are embedded in the reddish matter. Right, here electron charge will be what? Here electron charge is negative and proton charge is what? Positive. So when negative charge is embedded in the positive charge, then only electrically neutrality is maintaining in the atom. So here whatever the number of electrons, they are what? Neutralizing with proton reddish matter. By that atoms will be neutral and they are stable. So from this theory, means from this atomic model, successfully explained stability of that what? Atoms. Stability of the atom. This is what the only one point and one advantage of this atomic model. He successfully explained stability of atom. This is what the main important point. So what is the use of atomic Thomson atomic model? Stability of atoms will be successfully explained. Atoms, stability of atoms will be explained after discovery of electrons and protons. Then how these electrons and protons will be stable in the atom. So that what he explained with the watermelon. This is what the watermelon, let us assume here in the watermelon you can find it after making two parts, you can find reddish matter and seeds. The seeds are nothing but electrons and protons are nothing but what? Reddish matter. These electrons will be embedded, okay, they are merged. Embedded means what? Merged in the positive, means in the reddish matter. Here reddish matter is what? Positive. So when their electron negative embedded with positive, definitely positive and negative, there will be attraction resultant, there will be neutral. So resultant, this is what? Atom. So atoms are what? Neutral and they are stable. So this is what the atomic model which is given by J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson. And one thing here I want to give one point here. So J.J. Thomson did what? Experiments on structure of atoms. For this honor, he got what? Nobel Prize in 1906 in physics. Okay, so in physics he got Nobel Prize in 1906. For what he got Nobel Prize means he explained conductivity in gaseous molecules. In gases also will conduct. Earlier we have idea only solids will conduct or liquids will conduct. Okay, but even gases also will conduct. That what he proved when he started discovering that what? Electrons in the matter. For that work he got what? Nobel Prize in 1906. Okay, this was the additional information. Right, now, so after discovery of electron and proton, this is what the one experimentally after discovery of electron and proton, this was the second atomic model. First one is what? Dalton's atomic theory. Second one is Thomson atomic model. Dalton's atomic model or theory and Thomson atomic model. So according to Dalton's, smallest particles are the only atoms. There are no further particles in the matter according to Dalton's. Next, Thomson, after discovery of electron and proton with two particles, by taking two particles he explained atomic model, electrons embedded in the proton reddish matter. This is what the Thomson atomic model. Right, now we have idea on electrons, protons and neutrons. So here according to Thomson, there was no any idea about neutrons. Okay, no neutrons. Later neutrons will be discovered. Okay, later. Okay, right, that what neutrons will be discovered by the Chadwick. Right, after discovery of all particles, okay, proton, neutron, then Rutherford. Next, Rutherford model. Rutherford atomic model. What is a Rutherford atomic model? A Rutherford atomic model. It's very important model and basic model. So Rutherford atomic model. So he was the one man. He discovered a nucleus in the atom. So earlier separately we have that what information regarding subatomic particles. In every atom there will be an electron, proton, neutron. These are what we have information. But how they will be arranged in the atom. So there was no any that what evidence. But now he was the first man. He successfully explained how electrons and protons will be will be arranged in the atom. So by experimental evidences. So experimentally he proved and he explained how electrons and proton and neutrons will be arranged in the atom. So this is what Rutherford atomic model or discovery of nucleus. Both are same only. So discovery of nucleus, Rutherford atomic model. So what is the main intention of this Rutherford atomic model? Discovery of nucleus. Discovery of nucleus. Discovery of nucleus. Discovery of nucleus or alpha ray scattering experiment. Alpha ray scattering experiment, another name, experiment. From the alpha ray scattering experiment only he founded what there will be a nucleus in the atom. From the alpha ray scattering it is in competitive point of view very important. So which experiment explains the discovery of nucleus? Answer is alpha ray scattering experiment. So cathode ray experiment for electron discovery, anode ray experiment for protons discovery, and nucleus means alpha ray scattering experiment. So to discover nucleus in the atom, Rutherford used alpha ray particles. Alpha rays he used. Okay, right. Who discovered alpha ray particles? Rutherford only discovered alpha ray particle. Right, now let me explain here just what before starting experiment. Let me give the little basic information on this what rays, alpha rays, beta rays and gamma rays. What are alpha rays? Please hereafter you have to remember in NCERT it will be given in one separate right side page, that in extra information. For knowledge point of view they provided what is alpha, what is beta, what is gamma. Okay, it is not there in the topic discussion, but it is there in side information. Okay, so right, so you can follow NCERT line by line, so you will get everything, you will get it. No need to follow and no need to refer any other textbooks. If you are thorough with NCERT, you can crack any kind of competitive exams. Okay, NCERT is your reference. So please try to habit reading of NCERT. So don't do any other private materials. First you need to know the whatever the content given in the NCERT. So that content you need to be very thorough. Once you are thorough with NCERT, then for practice point of view you can buy or you can practice any other private materials, like there are many publications. Okay, but without doing NCERT, don't do any other books. This is what my suggestion. All boys and girls, so please try to make habit of reading NCERT. Botany, zoology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, everything first you have to complete the NCERT. After that then go for doing other any private materials. This is what my first request for all students. Okay, so please, right, Right, first let me give it what is alpha ray. What is alpha ray here? Alpha ray is nothing but what? Alpha ray, it is a one kind of particle. So alpha ray is nothing but dye-positive helium ion. So dye-positive helium ion. So dye-positive helium ion is said to be what? Alpha ray. So dye-positive means what? Helium, atomic number 2 and mass number 4. Here whenever it is a dye-positive, here no electrons. So without electron, helium is said to be what? Alpha ray particle. Okay, without electron. So neutral helium is different, helium dye-positive ion is different. In the helium dye-positive, so no electrons. Here what are the particles are present here? So 2 protons and 2 neutrons. In this what are the particles are present means, so 2 protons and 2 neutrons. This is what said to be alpha ray particle. Here no electrons. Here you can write it up, no electrons. It is very, very important. No electrons. So dye-positive helium ion is said to be alpha particle or alpha ray. Beam of, if you take it n number of alpha particles means this helium dye-positive, then that whatever is said to be alpha ray particles, alpha ray, that's it. Okay, ray is nothing but beam of these particles. Okay, bunch of these particles is said to be alpha ray. This is what one information. Next, what is a beta? How will get beta? So beta means what? When electrons are striking, when electrons are what? Moving with high speed in the cathode ray experiment. So when electrons, not only cathode ray, when electrons are what? Moving with high speed. So then when they will go, means electrons will move towards the anode, means positive side only. Why? Because electrons are having negative charge. Negative charge particle always will try to move towards the positive side, that is anode. When electron is that what moving with high speed and when it is striking on the surface of anode, this is what surface of anode. When it is striking on the surface of anode, electrons, definitely you will get what? One kind of what? Rays you will get it. That ray is said to be what? Beta ray. Okay, beta ray. So beta ray is nothing but what? Electrons only. It is a beam of electron. Okay, beam of electrons. So beta ray is nothing but what? It is a ray of, means electrons only, the bunch of electrons. But here in kind of what? That what radiation, that what energy will be little difference. How you will get beta rays means when electrons are when electrons are striking with high speed on the surface of anode, then you will get what? One kind of radiation. That radiation is said to be beta radiation. So beta particles or beta rays are nothing but what? Beam of electrons. It is the nature of electron only. Electron and beta particle, it will be same. Right. Next, gamma. Gamma particles or gamma ray. So what is a gamma ray? So what is a gamma ray means? It is a neutral. It is a neutral radiation. So it is a neutral radiation, no positive and no negative. Right, now let me here take it up. For example, now if I pass this alpha ray particle, now I am passing alpha ray particle via electric field and magnetic field. Let us assume here electric field. Now I arranged one electric field. Now what I am doing here, I am passing what? Electric field, means this alpha ray particle. Now which side you can see the deflection of this alpha ray particle? Here electric field will be arranged here. Okay, now here we have electric field. Okay, this side, let us assume here this is what? Positive anode and this is cathode. Now what I am doing here, I am passing this alpha ray particles. Then which side you will get attraction? Downside or upside up. This is what? Negative, this is what? Positive. Which side you will get it? So where positive is there or where negative is there? Here alpha charge is what? Positive charge, no? Alpha particle charge is positive. Definitely when being a positive particle, when it is moving or when it is traveling through electric field, definitely it will attract toward the negative side, no? Negative is what here? Cathode. So definitely you can see that this alpha particle will be attracted toward the cathode, where negative cathode is there. That side it will attract. That confirms what? Alpha particle charge will be positive, no? Yes or no? Positive fellow is attracting toward the negative only, no? So when alpha particle is what? Passing through electric field, you can see the deflection. What is the meaning of deflection? Change of its path direction. That is said to be deflection. Okay, change of its path direction is said to be deflection. Now when alpha particles are passing through electric field, definitely they will attract toward the what? Negative, means cathode side. They will move toward the cathode side. For example, here this is what alpha ray we are passing. Now I will be having here cathode, this is what? Anode. Now I am passing. Now tell me here, this ray will be moving towards positive side or negative side? Up to here no deflection, it is moving in the straight line, means no deflection, no attraction. After that definitely it will move like this. Yes or no? Why it is moving what? It is changing its path. Why? Because here this is positive particle. Alpha is nothing but dipositive of helium. Positive charge definitely it has to attract toward the cathode. This is what cathode. Yes or no? This is what anode. This is what anode. So always positive particle means, but that's why alpha ray you can see the deflection toward the cathode side. This confirms alpha ray particles are positive particles. Alpha ray positive particles are positive particles. Next, beta ray. If I have beta particle, now I have beta ray particle. Now what I am doing here? I am passing here one side positive, one side negative. Now tell me which side? Okay, right here I will take it. This is what negative. This is what positive, I will take it. So beta ray particle is nothing but what? Electron, no? Yes or no? Beta particle is nothing but electron. When we are passing this beam of electrons through electric field, in the electric field means one side cathode, other side anode. Now which side you can see the attraction? This is a negative means definitely it will attract toward the positive side, no? You can see the deflection towards like this. Yes or no? That means what? This is what experimentally evidence. Alpha particles are having positive charge, beta particles are having negative charge. That's why they are deflecting toward the anode side. This is what anode. It's very, very important. Okay, right. Now what I am doing here finally, gamma particle. Now I have gamma particle. Gamma, plus and minus is there. What you can see that? They are neutral. They are neutral means what? Then they will move in the straight line only. No deflection. You can't see any deflection, means deflection is nothing but attraction. You can't see the attraction or repulsion. You can't see any kind of attraction or repulsion. Why? Because these gamma particles are neutral particle. So this is what so okay, so applying electric field is the one experimental thing to know the charge, of any kind of particle. So this is what okay, so electric field is the one best experimental evidence to know the charge on the particle or charge on the ray, whatever the ray you have, whatever the matter you have. So you can find it. That's what you can do it in physics and chemistry point of view. If you want to find the any charge, you can find it. If no charge, no deflection, straight line, it will go in the straight line. No, that what deviation, no deflection. You can't see any deflection. So that is what the gamma rays. This is what the basic information of what alpha, beta, gamma rays. Right. Now here question is, why we are using alpha, beta, gamma rays? To find the discovery of what or any kind of particle or to know the structure of atoms. Reason is, these particles have high penetrating power. So they can penetrate into any kind of matter. So any kind of matter. That is what the reason why we are using alpha, beta, gamma particles. They are highly energetic and they have what? High penetrating power. So when they are penetrating, then they will go inside and they will strike inside the matter and they will come back. So due to this angle, you can you can imagine and experimentally you will get the information how will be the structure of inside matter. How will be the structure inside the matter. That what only we are doing in the nowadays in all hospitals. Okay, diagnostic center will be there. We are doing X-rays, we are doing what? MRI, everything we are doing based on what? This kind of principles. This kind of principles only we are operating. So whatever you are means, if you want to diagnose, if you want to know the structure of your heart, definitely they have to pass what kind of radiation. Then it has to match with our cardiograph. Then so you will get what? One kind of graph. Same thing. Next, if you pass X-ray, then you will get what? Your bone scan, you will get it. Yes or no? If you want to scan your brain, then MRI, you have to do the MRI. So MRI is the one kind of radiation. So everywhere we are using radiation, any one kind of radiation we are using. By using radiation, we are finding internal structure or internal arrangement of the matter and nature of the matter inside. How will be the arranged? This is what the advantage of radiations. This is what the advantage of radiation. Further, you need to know that what kind of radiation we have, and these are the main important radiation particles, alpha, beta, gamma. So right, okay, later very detailed we will discuss about radiation. What is the radiation, how we can find the radiation energy, and there are how many kinds of radiation is available in the universe. Okay, this is what later we will discuss. Right, this is what the basic idea to get what to understand Rutherford experiment. In the Rutherford experiment, what ray we are using? Alpha ray particles we are using. Alpha ray we are using. Okay, so what is alpha ray? Dipositive helium. That's it. Dipositive helium. This is what you need to remember. Right, now we are going to prove yes, in atom there will be a nucleus with alpha ray experiment, right? So in alpha ray experiment, Rutherford, so he arranged one kind of what experiment, in that he took one gold foil, okay, gold foil, right? Right, first let me give the diagram of that what experimental diagram. Here I will be having what source of what alpha ray source. This is what alpha ray source. In this what I will be having radioactive element. This is what radioactive element. Radioactive element. What is the nature of radioactive element? In starting class also in basics I taught. Radioactive element means there are some kind of elements, their nucleus is what unstable. When they are unstable, so to get stability, naturally they will emit alpha, beta, gamma kind of particles. So which are the elements emitting alpha, beta, gamma particles into nature? Those that what kind of elements are said to be radioactive elements. Radioactive elements. Right, now we are using what here, you can use what any one kind of radioactive element which is releasing alpha particles. This is what alpha particles. This is what alpha particle. Alpha particle. This alpha particle you have to pass through what one kind of slit will be there. This is a lead slit. You can take it what okay, this is what lead slit. Lead slit. So lead is what having what one kind of what lead slit. You can take it here what this is what one hole will be there. Through this slit we have to pass alpha particles. Okay. Then after this alpha particle what this is what gold foil. There will be one kind of what gold foil. You can take it. Gold foil I will take in small size like this. Right, here I arranged what Rutherford arranged one kind of what gold foil. Gold sheet. Foil is nothing but what gold. Gold symbol is what AU. Gold foil. Okay, gold foil means sheet. It's one kind of sheet. And backside of this gold foil he arranged one fluorescent material. This is what zinc sulfide. Zinc sulfide fluorescent material. Zinc sulfide. So what is the nature of this fluorescent material, or phosphorescent or fluorescent? What is the nature of fluorescent? Fluorescent. What is the nature of fluorescent material? What is the nature of fluorescent material? Right, what is the nature of fluorescent material? Right, if any particle, when it is strike on the surface, definitely it will give the spark. That is what the fluorescent material. So same thing we had, means same kind of what principle we applied in the discovery of electrons. In the cathode ray experiment also we had the discussion on what fluorescent material, fluorescent or phosphorescent. So any kind of material you can use to get what to see the nature of any kind of particles, like electron or any kind of, or proton or any positive particle or any ion, any particle you can see that. Right, this is what the experimental setup of Rutherford. So in the Rutherford what we have radioactive element. From this radioactive element like radium, okay, radium is the, you can take it radium. Radium is what one radioactive element which belongs to alkaline earth metal. This radium continuously it will emit alpha particles. It will emit alpha particle. This radium element emits the alpha particle. Now these alpha particles are, this is the source of alpha particle, is the radium. Okay, source of alpha particles. Now this is emitting alpha particle. Now these alpha particles we are passing through one kind of lead slit. So lead slit is the one slit. Through this that what gap we are passing the alpha particles. Now these alpha particles we are passing through gold foil. This gold foil, what thickness is what 100 nanometers. It is very very important. This thickness of gold foil, thickness of what Rutherford made one very thin gold foil and its thickness will be 100 nanometers. So that time only he prepared what nano gold foil, nano size gold foil. That time only. So he have, means that what you know that what nanotechnology. Right now we are talking whatever nanotechnology. That time only he prepared nano gold foil. Its thickness will be 100 nanometers gold foil, and now he started what passing alpha particles through gold foil, and backside of this gold foil he arranged one kind of what fluorescent or phosphorescent material, that is zinc sulfide. What is the nature of zinc sulfide means, if any particle is striking on this surface, definitely it will give the one kind of spark. That what you can see that what is indicating some kind of particles are coming and they are striking on the surface. This right now he started passing out alpha particles. He started passing alpha particles. Here what there are many particles. He started passing alpha particles. In this water, right, there are many particles. They are easily passed through gold foil. Most of the particles, more than what 95% of particles are passed through this what gold foil, and in that few particles are deflected with different angles, and out of 20,000 rays, it's very very important, out of 20,000 rays only one of ray is what exactly getting bounced back with the same angle. It's very very important. Let us assume here we passed 20,000 alpha ray particles. Among 20,000 only one of ray is what getting back with the same angle. Remaining what in that few particles are deflecting with different angles, and more than 90-95% of particles without deflection they are passing through gold foil. These are what experiment observations what he observed. Then from his observations, means from these experimental observations, then he concluded. So what points he concluded? Whenever we are passing alpha particles are what, nothing but here helium dye positive, no? Yes or no? Alpha particle means helium dye positive, no? This positive charge is what easily moving through this gold foil, means in the gold foil there are what so much of negative charge will be there. So whenever charge negative is there, then only positive will be attracted, then it will pass easily. Yes or no? That what means, then he concluded what in the atom, in the most of the space will be empty. In that empty space electrons will be arranged. Next, in that water, in the any matter there will be one small dense part. So this small dense part is what having dense part. Okay, dense part means dense portion. This is what having positive charge. This is having positive charge. When alpha ray particles are moving very close to this positive charge, then what will happen here? Positive repulsion will take place, no? Yes or no? Right. First let me take it here. This is what let us assume here, nucleus of gold foil, positive charge. Now what I am doing here, I am passing what alpha ray particle. If I pass this alpha ray particle, this is what the alpha ray. Exactly, alpha ray is nothing but helium dye positive. Positive repulsion will take place, no? So when it is this alpha ray particle is striking at the center of nucleus, definitely it will get bounced back, no, with same angle. Yes or no? Out of 20,000 rays, only one of ray is coming back like this, and remaining what rays? For example, here if I pass it, now it is getting what with some angle. Now here also it is getting some angle. Now here also it is getting what some angle. Every means here most of the rays are what deflecting or reflecting. So due to what positive repulsion will be there. So due to positive repulsion means when alpha ray particles are moving very close to nucleus where positive charge is present, then only you can see the deflections of the alpha ray particles. When alpha ray particles are passing out of the nucleus, here electrons will be there. Now they are easily passing like this. Yes or no? Rest of positive charge, electrons will be present. That's why what these rays are what easily passing. Why? Because here positive and negative attraction will be there. So these are the observations. From this what he concluded, in every matter there will be a, means in atoms there will be a nucleus. That nucleus part will be very denser. At denser that what portion there will be a positive charge will be located. And in rest place electrons will be arranged, and this whatever the space which is occupied by the electrons will be very high when compared to nucleus volume. Then if you talk about what, for example here if you talk about nucleus and atom size. So what is the atom size here? Nucleus size. What is the nucleus size? Nucleus size will be what here? 10 power minus 15 meters. Atom size will be is what? 10 power minus 10 meters. So what you can conclude here, according to what Rutherford, let us assume here there will be one ball, let assume here one ball is there, cricket ball. You have to keep one cricket ball in one ground, and if you take it radius, this radius is equal to what? 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. With 5 kilometer distance, if you make one circle, with 5 kilometer distance, if you make the one circle, just you imagine, so you will be having one cricket ball at center. With that, you have to take the 5 kilometer what radius r. By taking radius 5 kilometer, then you make one circle. Just you imagine that ball is nothing but what? Nucleus, and rest part is what? Atom. Now what will be what is the size of nucleus? Very small, no? With 5 kilometer radius, what you will get size? Big circle you will get, no? Very big circle you will get it. In that circle, just you imagine one ball. That ball is what? Nucleus. Rest of the part is what? Electron. That what? Electron place where electrons are present. So that is what means. Nucleus is what? Highly dense portion in the atom. That what he concluded. This radius is what? 5 kilometers. Just you imagine 5 kilometers radius. If you make one circle, in that what? One ball will be nucleus. Remaining rest of that whatever the volume will be what? Total atom. So atom, that what size will be 10 power minus 10, and nucleus size will be 10 power minus 15. So here what is the difference here? Size with respect to what? 10 power minus 5. So 10 power minus 5 means what? You can write it here 1 lakh. Yes or no? 1 lakh. 10 power 5 means 1 lakh only, no? Yes or no? Basava, that's why you want to join in NEET. 10 power 5 is equal to what? 10 power 2. 10 equals to what? 10 power 1. 10 power 2 equals to 100. 10 power 3 equals to 1000. 10 power 4 equals to what? 10,000. 10 power 5 equals to what? 1 lakh, no? Yes or no? Yes or no? 10 power 5 means what? 1 lakh. So when you compare the volume of nucleus and atom, means total atom, that nucleus means that volume which is occupied by the nucleus will be 1 lakh times less when compared to atom volume. When compared to atom volume means, so 1 lakh difference will be there. That what? With respect to size, 1 lakh times it will be larger, the total atom size when compared to nucleus. This is what observations he made, and he concluded that in every atoms there will be one denser part. Its name is what? Nucleus. Nucleus will be having positive charge. This positive charge will be located at the center of atom. That's why here alpha ray, we are out of 20,000 rays, only one ray is passing. That means probability is very less, no? When this this portion is very small, nucleus portion is very small, then only you will get what? One of ray only. If the nucleus size is very big, then so instead of what? 20,000, you would have get what? 2,000 rays or 3,000 rays, like that you will get it. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right. So here out of 20,000 rays, one of ray is what? Getting bounced back with the same angle. This is what confirms there will be a center part. In that center part there will be a nucleus. That is what? This you can separate by taking one of atom. You can take it and you can explain like this. Here when alpha particles are that what? Moving nearer to nucleus, then due to repulsion they will get what? Deflection. These are what angles you will get. Where means when alpha particles are passing, so out of repulsion from the nucleus, then they will easily pass. Right, out of 20,000, only one of ray is getting back. Remaining few means 1 to 5% of that what rays are only getting deflection. Remaining more than, so 90% of rays, they are easily without deflection, simply they are passing through a gold foil. That means what? More than 90% will be having electrons, and that, so in that 10%, so in that what? Out of 20,000, only one fraction means that what? 10 power minus 5 fraction will be the nucleus volume. That what he concluded. Okay, then so hereafter, so in every atom there will be a nucleus. In the nucleus there will be a positive charge. That positive charge means nothing but protons. Protons are what? Located at the center of atom. Okay, right. Now how these protons are what? Will be getting stability. Proton repulsion will be there, no? How they are getting stability? Due to what? Neutrons. So these neutrons are what? Minimizing proton repulsions. Neutrons what? Placed in between the protons. That's why you can minimize the proton repulsions. So now finally what you can conclude, in the nucleus, what are the particles are present? Out of 3 particles, proton and neutron. Yes or no? Then here in the nucleus, there are whatever the particles present in the nucleus are said to be nucleons. What are the nucleons? Proton and neutron. Proton and neutrons will be present inside the nucleus, and in the rest place of the atom, having electrons. Of the rest place electrons we have. Then after discovery of nucleus, then he explained stability of atom. How atom is what getting stability. He explained stability of atom. How we can explain? Means how he explained Rutherford. Right. From this all experimental observations, then he concluded that so now in every atom there will be a nucleus. This is what positive. In this nucleus you will be having protons and electrons, and outside you will be having the electrons. These electrons are revolving around the nucleus like a planetary model. How Earth, okay, Earth is rotating around the sun. Like that, electrons also will be rotating around the nucleus. This is what like planetary model. So here due to what electrostatic attraction. So due to what electrostatic attraction between electrons and positive charge nucleus, then this electron will be what balancing. Okay. So due to what electrostatic attraction, these electrons are what revolving around the nucleus like planetary model. How Earth was revolving around the sun. Here who is the Earth? Like electron. Here Earth is the electron and the nucleus is the sun. Like that, what here there will be a revolving of electrons around the nucleus. Due to this, atom is got getting stability. So electrons are not stable, means they are not in one place. So they are moving around the nucleus. Okay, moving around the nucleus. This is what the planetary model. So you can take it what this is what planetary model, which was planetary model was proposed by Rutherford. Okay, planetary model proposed by Rutherford. So here what in the nucleus means there are protons plus neutrons. These particles are said to be nucleons. Protons plus neutrons are said to be nucleons, and the rest of this nucleus electrons will be present like this. All are electrons. They are revolving around the nucleus. Okay, how they are revolving around the nucleus he did not explain. Just they are revolving like planetary model. That is what the experimental observation of Rutherford. From the experimental observations he concluded like this. Okay, right now we have what atom is present. In the atom there are three fundamental particles are present, and how these fundamental particles are arranged. Electron will be outside of the nucleus. In the inside the nucleus there will be a proton and a neutron. So who discovered nucleus? Rutherford. Yes or no? He only discovered, no? From how he discovered nucleus? From the alpha ray experiment. Then how will be the volume relation between the nucleus and atom? Atom size will be 10 power minus 10 meters and nucleus size will be 10 power minus 15. Difference is what? 10 power 5. So 1 lakh different size will be there, nucleus and atom. So 1 lakh times it is smaller. Nucleus is what? 1 lakh times smaller than atom size. This point you have to conclude that. How you discovered means from the alpha ray scattering experiment based on these postulates. So this is what okay. So atomic model, Thomson, after that Rutherford. Okay, right. So next I will continue this atomic structure tomorrow. So I will continue what after knowing nucleons, proton and neutrons. Based on this we will get what different kind of what isotopes, isobars and isotones. Okay, so this is what I will continue. So for all students, please read NCERT every day. You have to read habit of NCERT. So every day please you have to read NCERT only. First you read NCERT, after that so you can follow any material or any textbook. First you have to read NCERT. This is what my suggestion. For me, just you follow blindly NCERT line by line and try to solve all questions, whatever the questions given in the NCERT, book back questions in text and exercise. If you solve all kind of questions given in the NCERT, then you will be thorough. You can crack any competitive exams. Okay, right. Thank you. ఈరోజు యాక్చువల్లీ ఇక్కడ లేట్ అయింది మనం